I'm Yongyan. Today I'll be presenting on how Aristotelian virtue ethics can be applied to a common workplace issue, favoritism. We will explore a scenario involving two trainees, Mr. B and Mr. C, who are under the supervision of Mr. A. This scenario highlights how favoritism can create an imbalanced and demotivating work environment. And we will analyze this using Aristotle's framework of virtues and vices. In this scenario, Mr. A, the supervisor, consistently shows favoritism toward Mr. C, assigning him more significant tasks and providing him with more recognition. In contrast, Mr. B is often left with routine tasks and feels neglected. This unequal treatment creates tension within the team, leading to Mr. B feeling demotivated and undervalued. Despite his hard work, favoritism, as we all know, is not just a minor issue. It has serious implications for team dynamics and the productivity. When a supervisor like Mr. A unfairly distributes the tasks and recognition, it creates an atmosphere of inequality. This can lead to a decline in the morale, which we see clearly happening with the Mr. B. From an Aristotelian perspective, the actions of both Mr. A and Mr. C represent vices. Mr. A's behavior embodies the vice of favoritism, which is an excess of personal bias. According to Aristotle's idea of the golden mean, virtues lies between two extremes, and favoritism represents an excess of the virtue of justice. By overvaluing Mr. C's contributions and overlooking Mr. B, Mr. A distorts the balance required to maintain fairness. Now, let's look at Mr. C. Even though he is not directly causing the imbalance, his passive acceptance of the advantages represents the vice of injustice. Mr. C benefits from the favoritism without addressing the unfair treatment of Mr. B. Aristotle would view this as a deficiency in justice. Though he may not be the one committing the unfair actions, his failure to stand up for fairness shows lack of moral courage. In contrast, Mr. B represents the virtue of humility. Despite being overlooked and feeling frustrated, he continues to work diligently and maintains his professionalism. Humility, according to Aristotle, is the golden mean between arrogance and self-depreciation. Mr. B doesn't demand attention or praise for his efforts, but continues to do his best in a difficult situation. However, while Mr. B's humility is admirable, we must acknowledge that he lacks of courage to confront the situation. Aristotle believed that virtues must be balanced, and here Mr. B's humility needs to be paired with the virtue of courage. He must find a way to address the unfair treatment in a respectful and constructive manner. So, what can be done to resolve this issue? Aristotle's virtue ethics offers a pathway for both Mr. A and Mr. C to become more virtuous. Mr. A, the supervisor, must first recognize his bias and favoritism. From an Aristotelian perspective, acknowledging one's vices is the first step toward moral growth. Mr. A should strive for impartiality in how he assigns tasks and provides feedbacks, ensuring that both Mr. B and Mr. C are given equal opportunities to contribute. Mr. C, the favorite trainee, the solution lies in advocating for fairness instead of passively benefiting from Mr. A favoritism. Mr. C should use his position to encourage more equitable treatment for Mr. B. This would bring him closer to Aristotle's golden mean of justice. By speaking up and promoting fairness, Mr. C can play an active role in creating a more balanced work environment. To wrap up, Aristotle's virtue ethics gives us valuable insights into how we can approach workplace moral issues like favoritism by identifying the vices of favoritism and injustice and contrasting them with the virtues of humility and courage. We can find pathways to create a fairer and more productive work environment. In this case, Mr. A needs to practice impartiality, while Mr. C should advocate for fairness, and Mr. B could work on building the courage to address the imbalance. And thank you for listening. That's the end of my presentation.